Well, g'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Collegian Sporting Complex. We're just about to get underway here with the Dragons in New South Wales Cup in a must-win game up against the Newtown Jets. It is a must-win, of course, with the Dragons sitting just outside the top five with 2 rounds to play. As we head over. Just about ready for a kickoff, so a bit of a late start. I had to drop the young fella at work before we get into this one. But it's the Dragons to kick off. I'll take you through the teams when I get an opportunity to do so. It's the Newtown Jets with first use of the ball. It's the Loco Tonga up there and involved in that first tackle. The big news in this one, Raymond Fatala Mariner is named and playing up there on the left-hand edge for the Dragons, a late inclusion. As the Jets go down that short side, they come up with an error, but it looked dangerous. Michaeli Ravaloa slightly out of position. Ben Johnston on that side as well in jersey 3. And the Jets found a bit of room. They come up with the error, though, so it gives the Dragons an opportunity. Their first use of the ball will start inside the Jets' half. So it'll just be a play the ball. Connor Mollison into dummy half. Loco Tonga looks like he's ready to have his first carry of the game. So he's put down onto his back, about 38 out from the Jets line. Goes to Stewart, who's into the starting lineup. He tips it onto Josh Corridge. He's earned his way into this starting lineup as well in the last few weeks as Glover. He goes across. Goes out wider. Haley Finau tips it onto Benny Johnson. Johnson put down up against the right-hand side, and he's come up with an error. Ruled as a knock on. I thought there might have been a second effort in that tackle there from the Jets. Mohammed Dib pointing out that the Dogs lost in New South Wales Cup. That's a good result for us. It was 4th versus 5th. The Warriors and the Dogs, and the Warriors got the job done. So it means if the Dragons do win, they will move at least temporarily up into the top 5, pending the result of a game later today, the Penrith Panthers up against the top of the table Raiders. So we need the Raiders to do us a solid as well. But first of all, we've got to get the win. Jesse, he's down at the ground. We'll try and get him on at half time. Have a bit of a chat. Hopefully we're up at that stage and everything's looking positive. Now it's with Tom Rodwell playing the ball as the Jets come towards the middle of the park. Tapua up towards the 40-metre line as he plays it back. Coming through the middle now, Blake Hosking. Good, strong carry. He carries a couple of Dragons up over the halfway line. Tonga and Mollison, as well as Fatala Mariner. Take a little bit of an exploration down that right-hand side. Pickering is put down as they get to the kick through Puru. He goes to the sky. Decline high and knocking it backwards there. Savelio Tamale knocks it back to Haley Finau. In the uncustomary position at fullback. And no Ben Rumble, unfortunately, Mo. Ben Rumble wasn't a late inclusion, so must have had an injury that kept him out of the Jersey Flegg game. Still Haley Finau in at fullback. Ashton Ward is out there, though, in what I believe is his New South Wales Cup debut. I know he hasn't played there this year. I'm not sure. I don't think he played there last year. It's Loco Tonga. Good, strong carry. Up over the halfway line and gets almost to the 40-metre line by the time he's put down. Kick now from Glover. Goes to the sky, testing out Rodwell. Takes it comfortably. Hamish Stewart, first man down there, makes the tackle. Down low, which allows the quick play the ball as it tends to do. The Dragons' defence, though, was nice and set and ready for it. Still 0-0 here on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. About 4 minutes gone. few of the NRL boys down there watching this game. Always good to see when the senior players get down there to support the juniors. Hopefully they hang around throughout the day. There's triple header at Collegians. And now it's the Jets getting to their kick again. So just the one error in their first set. Hayley Finau beats the first chaser, gets the ball to Mika Ravalawa. Ravalawa gets the ball on the outside to Benny Johnson. Benny Johnson down that right-hand side. They come across and make the tackle down low. Good bit of ad-lib football there. Started by Hayley Finau. He comes in to have the next run. Now Savelio Tamale will try and shrug away from the marker. Can't get away from him, though. Josh Cook just holds on to him. Still manages to carry up over the halfway line. It's for Tyler Mariner. Gets that one on the ad line from Malison. His first involvement in the game. Ashton Ward on the left. They're going to the right, though, with Stewart. He had Tonga on the inside, goes outside. Now it's with Russell. Russell will be asked to play it in the tackler Hosking. Again, they go to Glover for the kick. Ashton Ward's barely had a touch so far in this opening 5.5 minutes. Left-hand side's catching a cold for the Dragons. Newly exchanges. No Savelio Tamale, no Hayden Buchanan. And pray for Tyler Mariner, only the one touch. Good tackle there from Tonga. Just squashed one of the Jets players as they bring it out of their own end. Well, after the early error from Newtown, and the Dragons responded with one of their own, it's been a bit of an arm wrestle. That kick from inside the 30. Hayley Finau gets across to it nicely. Got on his bike, showed good urgency. Now goes across field looking to find some space. He finds a pretty straight chasing line from the Jets. All over the ball then was Hosking. He gets away with it though. No penalty from the referee. Now Tamale up towards halfway. He's put down. Malison waits. Goes to Stewart. Out the back to Glover. Glover goes wider. Hayley Finau off the hands. Just tapped up to his own advantage there, Johnson. Not too much doing. Again comes back to Glover. In towards the middle of the park. It's with Josh Corrich. And they again go to Glover on the final play. Well, there may as well only be one half out there at the moment. And a penalty. I think they might have had a player in front of the kicker. I don't know whether it was Dan Russell or Ben Johnson. But a penalty to Newtown. A bit of a piggyback out of their own end. We go around the grounds, courtesy of Complete Warehouse Solutions, with a little bit of a break here. Earlier at Collegians in the Jersey Flegg game, the Dragons were, well, absolutely thrashed by a Sharks team desperate to fight their way into the top 5. They came into the round in 6th and they hammered the Dragons 54 points to 10 and tries to Jesse Williams and Tom Kirk. The only bright spots for the Dragons in an absolute hammering loss as the Jets almost go through the middle, tried to get the ball back on the inside, gets up and goes again. It's hard to pull up. Plays the ball. Puru puts a little kick in behind and waits for the perfect bounce. And a try to Blake Hosking. Ruled to be onside. He was the only man within QE of the ball, and the Jets score the first try in this game. 8 minutes gone, and the Dragons punished for that penalty down the other end of the field. But a bit of clever play from the captain, Niwai Puru. Just puts the little grubber in behind. The lock forward, Blake Hosking trailing through. Gets to it well and truly before anybody else can. So 4-0 kick to come. We continue the around the ground in the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership. The Rabbitohs have beaten the Sharks 34 points to 6. And the other Jersey flag game that's going on at the moment, the Manly Sea Eagles leading the West Tigers 18 points to 16. Sea Eagles, I think, in that one are in 5th at the moment. So that's a big game in terms of who's going to play finals in flag. In NRLW, the Newcastle Knights leading the Parramatta Eels 30 to 16. And in the other NRLW game, the Cowboys leading the Canberra Raiders 10 points to 6. Back here now with the conversion attempt for Peru. Takes his time. Should knock this one over. Moves in, raises the flags, and 9 minutes in, it's Newtown leading 6 points to 0 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. It's the Dragons desperate for a win here. In reality, their only chance of playing finals is to win their last 2 games. They just can't quite get the replay right today. At least we actually got to see it that time, but it was in fast forward instead of slow motion. Now the Jets from the kickoff bring it straight back at Josh Corridge, who makes great first contact. Stewart gets in there to help him finish off the tackle. Now Rodwell has the second carry. The Jets up towards the 30-metre line, just trying to get through the set after points. Both front rowers, Corridge and Tonga, involved there. Corridge bounced out of that tackle. He's claiming there's a knock-on, and there is a knock-on indeed. Now Tapua comes up with the error. It was a pretty straightforward, simple set there from the Jets. And still they can't get through it. Always one of the key indicators of a contest. Coaches, players, everyone out there after points will be screaming, must complete, must complete. It's amazing how often the team doesn't. There's just too much pressure on that completion as Ward turns that one underneath to Stewart. Stewart, rangy back row up, playing in the lock position here today. Again, the Jets are all over the ball, slowing that play the ball down. So the Dragons go a couple wide, out to Russell. Russell just backing towards the 20-metre line. He'll play it back to Mulheiston. He goes to Glover. Glover dummies to the first couple underneath. Now Ward, his ball hits the deck. Tamale goes back and cleans it up and comes back centre field. He'll look to bounce away from a couple. He gets straight through almost Tamale. He stands. He gets the offload out the back. Glover eventually picks that up. The Jets, though, they look pretty organised defensively. Savelio Tamale, geez, he's a real danger every time he gets the ball in hand. Stewart, he straightens the point of the attack. The Jets just hang off him a little bit. They eventually lift the leg. The Dragons complaining about that as it goes to Glover. Goes to Crossfield. Out the back now. Sweeping around is Finn out, but he's chopped down, takes the tackle. Rather lower to dummy half. It goes to Glover, who's going to bomb across field. Who's going to get up for it? Ray Fatala Mariner got into a decent position. The ball looked like it blew back into the arms of the Jets. And now they work it out of their own end. So the Dragons unable to convert. A bit of ad-lib football from Savelio Tamale. It's the only time they really look dangerous. The Jets' defence pretty organised. George Nadira, the coach of the Jets team, former Dragon. I think he's got a couple of kids in the Dragon system as well. At least the surname Nadira. Playing in the Pathways games is tackle 5 now for the Jets. The kick from just outside the 40. With the attention of Loco Tonga, but goes deep down the throat of Savelio Tamale. Look to find a weakness. He runs into Jackson Ferris. Not too many make the first up tackle on Savelio Tamale, but Jackson Ferris does on that occasion as Hayden Buchanan wears a little bit of a high shot and the Dragons get a penalty. A Bit of a help out of our own end. This should put us down to a decent attacking position to start this set. As Glover and Ashton Ward have a quick conversation in terms of what they want to set up. So the touch finder is right on the halfway line. Tap and go. Well, the Tyler Mariner had to stop on his run there. He was coming off the back fence and then ended up just trotting into the defensive line as Corridge gets that one. Underneath from Glover. They're up about 30 metres out from the Jets line. Stewart goes to Glover. Glover hits Finau. Finau underneath the Benny Johnson off the left foot. He almost goes through. Mulhyson, they look towards the blind side. They go open. Now it's with Loco Tonga. He runs into the teeth of the defence. He'll stand up. He'll be hard to put down. They don't put him down. He fights to play the ball quickly. They go to the open side again with Glover. Now to Ward. Ward, underneath it goes and running back into him. Put down. There is Buchanan. A bit of a bobble at dummy half. Josh Corrick struggles towards the line. Getting late in the set now. He's flung around and put down. Out the back of Tonga. Goes to Glover. Glover tries to roll it in and a slips catch. Diving. Well, he's put it down though. Diving to his right. Couldn't take it cleanly. Knocks it on. The Dragons will get another set. It was Puru trying to defuse that dangerous kick. Well, he might have saved a try, but he's given the Dragons another set of 6. So set up in the middle of the field, 10 metres out. Good Ward and Buchanan out to the left. Glover to feed the scrum, so you'd think they're going to go left. Abby Finau wraps around out the back. Goes to Finau down low. He gets it out to Tamale. Tamale steps inside once, twice, and Civilio Tamale will dot down for the Dragons' first try of this game, and sustained pressure leads to points. It's 6-4, kick to come. Well, he is an incredible attacking weapon, Civilio Tamale. Ali Finau's having a bit of an impact in the fullback role as well. Chiming into the back line on the regular. It's the double step. A lot of sliding cover defence for the Jets, trying desperately to get across to stop him. The footwork was too good for the Newtown Jets. Tamale scores. Brings it around to improve the position. And Jonah Glover should be able to knock it over from here. And lock this one up. So we'll go around the grounds, courtesy of Complete Warehouse Solutions, while he is lining this one up. And in the Jersey flag. Important game. The Manly Steagles leading the West Tigers 18-16. Manly need to win to keep their spot in the top 5 in the flag competition. The NRLW, it's full time in the Newcastle Para game that was delayed because there was no paramedic at the ground. But that one has finished now. The Knights running out 36-16 winners. While in the other NRLW game, it is the Cowboys leading the Raiders 14 points to 6. Back here. Conversion attempt about to take place from Jonah Glover. Moves in. Does knock it over successfully. So 17 and a half minutes gone. We're locked at 6-all. No dib. Asking about that Jack Bird meeting with the West Tigers. Interesting to see where it goes. I'm happy to sit back and watch and see how it plays out. But I think on the money that he's on next year, I'm quite happy to keep Jack Bird. I think he provides good depth and experience to our squad. And, well, that kick, it bounces over the dead ball line. Well, it just tracked back and back and back. I think that might be Tamale that couldn't quite get to it to take the catch. Great kickoff from the Newtown Jets. But, on Bird, I think on the money that he's going to be on, he'll provide decent value for us. So I'm not too fussed. If he goes, then good luck to him. Dragons in front of the kicker from the goal line dropout, so a penalty right in front. And you'd imagine they'd consider taking the 2 here, the Newtown Jets, with the score locked at 6-all, despite what it says on the scoreboard. I'm sure that conversion attempt went over. In any case, the Jets are not going to take the 2. They tap and go. Josh Cook at dummy half. Goes out the back of the first try scorer to Puru. Dummies goes. Josh Corrich had to work hard there. Going laterally, makes the tackle. A short pass. Couple of short passes, and Jackson Ferris slices through. Well, that was all too easy for Ferris. And the Jets strike straight back. Nice little short passing there. Khalid Rajab was the first one. And Tarmal tipped that on. And Ferris, he went straight through for a very simple try. The Dragons are back in it momentarily. Now they're behind again. 10-6 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Alec Tuatavake is out onto the field. A man on the ground, Jesse Godfrey, just saying Loco Tonga's made his way off. So he's got through his first stint, first 20 minutes. He'll have a bit of a breather and be back on later to bash and barge. Hopefully nothing wrong with him. On the dib defence non-existent on that occasion. Yeah, they just sort of held off. And when you're that close to your line, you've really got to jam in and make a decision. None of the Dragons defenders wanted to do that. Jackson Ferris is he's a very hard running forward. Gets himself forward. He's a centre. Jackson Ferris. Probably slightly too good for New South Wales Cup, but he's played a lot of New South Wales Cup. As the kick goes over, the Jets out 12 points to 6 lead on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. 21 minutes gone, so we're through the first quarter of the game. The Dragons, they race up to the halfway line. No chance to have another look at that, the replay of the Jets try. It's Glover. Kicks off, gets us back underway once more. I'll bring it back into Hamish Stewart, Alec Tuatavake with his first involvement in that tackle. Get out of dummy half and find a runner coming back against the grain. Tuatavake and Fatala Mariner make that tackle. Tapua, he gets a late offload away. Josh Corrich slides off the tackle nicely to get to Pickering to make it, along with Stewart. Now Puru finds a second rower in Liu. He'll stand and play the ball. 40 out from his own line. Puru goes underneath to Dakin. Dakin on the halfway line is put down. So it looks like they are going to get through their set this time. Puru goes high. It's tried to knock that backwards and has knocked it about 25 metres forward there, Tom Rodwell. That was, that wasn't good play from anybody. Mika Ravaloa was trying to track the ball, had no idea where it was. He got lost and turned inside out. Looks up late. And then the attempted knock back. I don't know why you don't just catch it when you're completely uncontested. Rubble was nowhere near him by that stage. He could have caught it and just passed it normally, but didn't. And the Dragons get away with it, so that'll be a handover. Now the Dragons 40 out from their own line. Fatala Mariner. Good strong charge from him. He'll be looking for a strong performance. So he's been dropped from the NRL side as Malison gets out of dummy half. Picks up good metres for the side. Should be able to put him on the front foot. Stewart gets to dummy half. Corrick stands and waits. He's going to take it up to the line. He almost goes straight through to Josh Corrick. That's a good, strong run, and they didn't deserve to hold him down that long. It goes to Glover. Glover's going to put a little halfway bomb up. Penny Johnson tries to tap it back. I think the Dragons have still got it through Dan Russell, but dragged forward by Ben Johnson in the last instance, and they're coming up for the handover. Benny Johnson trying to say that he knocked it back. He attempted to knock it back, and I think the last touch, he just kind of dragged it forward. So I'll back the referee with that call, even though it has gone against us. I think it would have been a handover in any case. I don't think Dan Russell was getting to the ground somehow. Now the Jets, they have to bring it out of their own end. They have done through most of this first half, but they do lead 12 points to 6 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Rodwell, he tries to find some space in behind the ruck off the pass of Josh Cook. Cook now takes an exploration out of dummy half himself. That's put down right in the centre of the Collegiate Sporting Complex. Go across to Razgar for the kick. Tries to put that high, deep bomb down to Tamale. Busts out of a couple of tackles, gets the offload to Ward. Ward fires it across to Ravaloa. Ravaloa says, "Where's the contact? That's what I'm looking for." And he gets it. Hayden Buchanan looking to use that right foot to find a little bit of space himself. He has some nice post-contact metres in that carry. Mulhyson goes to Tuatavake. Tuatavake not looking for the offload there, wants to find his front for a quick play the ball. The Dragons look like they got a bit of a roll on. Viliami Fafita will look to continue that. But he's going to be slowed down, put down onto his side. Fatala Mariner. He steps off the left foot away from Cook on tackle 5. You'd imagine it'll come to Jonah Glover, and it does. Glover's going to take it right to the line, though. He gets the ball out. It's Dan Russell that puts the kick in behind and just tapped over the dead ball line by Tyler Tarmo. Well, there's a good kick from Dan Russell. A string to his bow we didn't know he had. A good set of 6 there from the Dragons. They get themselves a repeat. There's a good bit of heads-up footy there from Jonah Glover as well. Quite often he'll just go through the motions and put the kick up on last, but saw that the Jets' defence was hanging back a little bit, so took it right to the line, got it out to Dan Russell, who then put the kick through. And it was a good kick. They go the short option, knocked backwards by the Dragons, cleaned up by Ashton Ward. Ward, I think that's Mulhyson claiming he might have been taken a little high. Dylan Egan out onto the field. Not used to coming from the bench this season, Dylan Egan. He started just about every game this year. He's out there now. Ward goes to Glover. Glover, short ball to Russell. Russell trying to carry one of the Jets players, Puru, across the line. Mulhyson goes from dummy half and dives over. Interesting to see what the referee looks like. The referee is going to point to the spots. Well, I thought for a moment they might have said Dan Russell took Puru out of play. But it's all fair, says the referee. It's Conor Mulhyson. Sees a bit of a scrambled defensive line close to the try line. And that's a good little try sneak. Classic dummy half play. Conor Mulhyson gets on the board. And this seesawing battle continues. The Dragons, it feels like they're starting to physically get on top of the Newtown Jets. They'll need to convert that into points and continue that roll going. around the grounds, courtesy of Complete Warehouse Solutions. Repeating earlier today, in the Harvey Norman Women's Premiership, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It's the sort of bottom of the table clash, but South beating the Sharks 34 points to 6. In the important Jersey Flegg clash, it looks like Manly might drop out of the top 5 in Jersey Flegg. They have gone down with a late try to Zachary Clark from the West Tigers, and the Tigers beat Manly 22 points to 18. The Tigers in Jersey Flegg. In NRLW, the Newcastle Knights 36-16 winners in the game that is at half at the moment. The Cowboys leading the Raiders 18-6. Jonah Glover, 21 metres in from touch, should knock it over. The flags are raised, so we're back level, back where we started, 12 all. 29 minutes gone, so 11 minutes left in the first half. We're all locked up. The Jets come back to the halfway for the kickoff. Always an important period of the game when you get towards the back end of a half. Fatigue starting to set in for plenty of them. Tamale this time takes that one on the full and brings it back because we made a meal of the first time the Jets kicked off. Now for Tyler Mariner, runs into Kurt Dillon, who's out there for the Jets. As is Crouch. Viliami Fafita now with his second run. It's held up. They can't get him to the ground. They go now to Tuatavake, who goes up over the halfway line. He's had a bit of an impact since coming on. Dylan Egan working through the centre of the field. He's put down, wants a quick play the ball and gets it. They go to Glover. Glover's going to go to the sky this time under a little bit of pressure. Coming forward is Rodwell. Well, he's under no real pressure. The Dragons decided not to contest that at all. Benny Johnson was right there. Dan Russell was right there, but neither of them looked to compete for that ball at all. And Tom Rodwell takes it much more comfortably than he should have been allowed to. Because now the Jets can bring it out of their own end. The Dragons, they look like they're quite happy just to get to the end of that set. After points, the referee has allowed a lot of latitude to both teams in the ruck, so at least he's been consistent in that area so far. He just hasn't put the whistle to the mouth at all. Puru, well, it looked like that one came off his shin. He was reaching for the ball there at the last minute. Didn't quite get the ball drop he was looking for, but still gets a kick away down to Ravaloa. Finau plays it back to Glover. Glover goes to Johnson. Benny Johnson up towards the 40-metre line. As now Egan gives Kurt Dillon a piggyback ride. That one's for free. Now Ashton Ward underneath the Fatala Mariner. Tries to get the arm threes, looking to pop it out the back as he's driving backwards towards the Jets try line. Again, it goes to Glover for the kick. And again, he goes to the sky. And one back to Tamo, who takes it. He runs into Ashton Ward and also Dylan Egan. They throw him down, and the Dragons seem to be bringing it off their own 20-metre line, and the Jets bring it off their own try line for the most part of this opening half. They're holding on, the Newtown Jets, though. 12 all, a quick play the ball. They get out a dummy half through Cook. He flicks it out the back as they try and step now through the middle, looking to go between Fatala Mariner and Tuatavake. Not a pastime I'd recommend. Now Kurt Dillon. Kurt Dillon put down. Goes to Puru. Puru just tips that on to Dakin. Now Rajo. Out the back to Puru. He turns that one underneath to Pickering. Pickering. Put down by Mulhyson. Maybe an injury here for Pickering. Slow to his feet. He's going to go back down. So an injury here for Kyle Pickering. So we do have a stoppage. Madib saying it's a little warm, could take a bit of a toll on the players later. Jesse's our man on the ground. He can tell us all about the conditions there at Collegians. Certainly does look like the sun is shining, a bit different to where I am. Pouring with rain here most of the day. Quite different conditions over there in the east. We're back underway now. It's the Jets with the ball. On the attack, it goes to Rajo. He goes right to the line, goes out to Puru. Puru, short ball again to Ferris. This time they make the tackle. It was Ashton Ward coming up with the important tackle there. Puru tries to drive it in behind and kicking the mid out in Egan. Dylan Egan puts the foot down. Dylan Egan doesn't have the pace. The wing is coming from the clouds. Puru gets to him from behind, but a great run from Dylan Egan. He'll play it back to Hayden Buchanan. Buchanan gets in a dummy half, gives it to Mika Ravaloa. Mika Ravaloa's been running. He's been sprinting up the field 70 metres. Plays it back to Mulhyson. He goes across to Ward. Ward, he looks to switch the point of the attack, goes back to Tuatavake, so let's settle it down. We've got plenty of tackles up our sleeves. So great chance now for the Dragons on the back of that run from Egan. Now to Ward. Ward getting more involved. Short ball to Russell. He's had plenty of the ball. He's put down there by Puru. Now to Egan. Well, he started it. Can he finish it? Pushing towards the try line. Held up just short. Plays it back to Mulhyson. Short ball there to Russell again, trying to crash over. He's desperate for a 4-pointer as the Dragons captain. It goes to Glover. Glover to Ward. Ward tips that one on. Out a bit wider to Fatala Mariner. He's tied the hair up. He confused me for a second. It's the same bloke. Now the pass from dummy half to Glover. Glover's going to go to the sky. Not much of a kick. Ben Johnson just dribbles it out the back and dived upon by the Jets. Jesse saying no wind. Beautiful day. Responding to Ian Johnson's question. Now the Jets bringing it away from their own end. It was a nice start to that set. Lost their way a little bit. Unable to convert that field position into points. And the Jets did well to regroup on their own line. They work up to the halfway line with Kurt Dillon. Now Puru, he just tries to grub a one. Well, that's an indication that the Jets are tired. And here, Waipuru, well, he's just decided that his teammates, they need a bit of a breather. They're struggling. Heading into this last 4 minutes of the half, can the Dragons find a bit of energy to go to the break with a lead? They'll play the ball back. It's Haley Finau jumping into dummy half, so perhaps a little bit of a reshuffle here. Good run from Buchanan. And he's caught them offside. So here's a great chance now for the Dragons. Ball ends up in the hands of Glover. He'll kick for the sideline. We'll go right on the attack. We'll eventually get the ball and we'll go into Hayden Buchanan. He goes for a run himself. Hyson's still out there in 9, so he's just having a little bit of a rest. With Finno in there the last couple of plays. Ward goes across field. His first time he's had a run at them. He's put down. He's monstered a little bit there, is Ward. Finno tipping that one on to Russell. Russell takes the tackle. Plays it back to Johnson. The ball goes out the back to Mulhyson. I don't think he was expecting it. Fafita ends up with the ball. He knows exactly which direction to go. He'll play it now back to Mulhyson. Out the back of Tuatavake to Glover. Goes out to Haley Finnow. Short ball. And Benny Johnson strolls across for the Dragons' third. And we hit the front for the first time in this game. 16-12. Kick to come on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Well, Haley Finnow might not be all that familiar with the fullback role, but geez, he's done a job there today. Just held that one up, and Benny Johnson, a nice line, just got on the outside shoulder of his opposite man. The winger stayed out on Ravaloa. Well, I think you've got to stay out on Ravaloa, don't you? Because otherwise he's going to go straight over you. No one took control of Benny Johnson. He goes over, and just before half time, the Dragons will hit the front. Good stuff, says Tony Sacosta. Don Williams says nice. And just a big round of applause from Lisa Marie Cooper. Jesse Godfrey wants to welcome Maria Paseka and Jordan Preston into the Dragons NRLW squad. Of course, announced today they're replacement players. The Dragons getting an exemption due to a couple of season-ending injuries to bring Maria Paseka and Jordan Preston into the squad. Paseka, not just into the squad, straight into the starting lineup. She'll get her NRLW debut after the NRL game tomorrow. So if you are going to the NRL game tomorrow, make sure you stick around after full time and cheer on the ladies. NRLW side up against the unbeaten Cronulla Sharks in both NRL and NRLW, because they're not undefeated in NRL, but top 4 going well. Important game for the NRL side. And Jonah Glover, just before the break, moves in and raises the flags. And gives the Dragons an 18-12 lead on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Don't know that we're going to get too much more footy. We are basically waiting now on the siren. About 20 seconds or so away. We might get one play. Kick it down, and Tuatavake with a big kick return. Well, that nicely to his stats is Fatala Mariner. He goes towards the middle of the park as well. The Dragons have a trick shot here because we did have a bit of time off with an injury, so I don't know if the clock on the screen stops during that injury to Kyle Pickering. So we might have a little while left. Now, Egan, he does take it forward, and it looks like the halftime siren has sounded now. So that is halftime here at Collegians. It's the mighty St George Illawarra Dragons with a late try to Ben Johnston. Sees them head to the sheds with an 18-12 advantage. It was 9 minutes in, the Jets scored first, and really did trade tries through most of that half. We see a clever little kick in behind. Haley Finnow, the fullback, not quite as well positioned as he would have liked, but you've got to be a mind reader to know that's going to happen early in the count. And the Dragons go across here. Savelio Tamale with a bit of great footwork, just stepped inside the sliding defence straight from a scrum wing. 17 minutes in, it was 6-all. It doesn't look like they're going to show. Yeah, there we go. We're going to show the rest of the highlights. And the Jets, well, this was some pretty poor defence. The Dragons' left edge. Ferris just got on the outside there of Hayden Buchanan, comes up with a pretty poor miss on his opposite number. He slides through to give the Jets a 12-6 lead on the quarter. And then Conor Mulheisman burrowed over just a few minutes later and Lockers back up at 12-all. With about 10 minutes left in the half when he scored that try. The first team to score back-to-back tries was the Dragons with this one right on the stroke of half-time. You see Benny Johnson just getting on the outside of his man, very similar to the Jackson Ferris try. This time it's Benny Johnson, though, for the Dragons, getting across to give us that 18 points to 12 lead. Might put an invite out there. Our man on the ground and see if we can get Jesse on. He's down there at Collegians. Might even be able to grab some of the players that are hanging around. They might want to have a chat. I don't know. Who knows? But certainly a good first half there for the Dragons up against the Newtown Jets, leading 18 points to 12 at half time. We're waiting for Jesse around the grounds, courtesy of Complete Warehouse Solutions. Earlier at Collegians, the Jersey Flagside took on the Sharks, and it wasn't a happy day for the Dragons in that one, going down 54 points to 10, 9 tries to 2. And the Sharks comfortable winners in that Jersey Flag game. In the other Jersey Flag game that has implications on finals, just were in 6th, just behind 5th place Manly, but they'll frog them now as the West Tigers got a late try against Manly in the Jersey Flag to win 22 points to 18. In the NRLW, the Newcastle Knights ran out 36-16 winners over the Parramatta Eels at Eric Tweedale Stadium. In the other NRLW game, the Cowboys into the second half now, leading the Raiders 18 points to 6, 4 tries to 1. Goal kicking from Kira Gibb has been great, but still an 18-6 lead for the Cowboys. If they keep scoring tries, they'll win. They won't need the conversions. And there's another Harvey Normal Women's Premiership game between Parramatta and Newcastle that should have started by now, but hasn't. Don't have an updated score on that one. The other Jersey Flag game between South and Newcastle, the Rabbitohs lead that one at 6 points to 0, and not too far away from the Magpies and the Sea Eagles getting underway in the New South Wales Cup. And we welcome Jesse.
How you going, Donny?
How is it down there?
It's good. Just half time here. Just see the Steelers girls just doing a bit of a warm up. Yeah, it's a great game. The Dragons looking good. Just or a few more of the first grade boys rock up. Just got them here right in front of me. So see if I can get them on for you if you want.
Well, why not? If they're willing to have a chat, we'll always see how they're doing, see how they're gearing up.
Hey, Jesse, how are you, mate?
You want to come on? Come on.
What do you got?
It's the Mad Dragon. You want to say hello to the Mad
They've been
Dragon?
talking too much crap about me. It's been a while.
We love you. This guy loves you. Look,
it's all right.
look who we got, Donny.
We know. You talk crap about Birdie and I.
We love.
I'm the only one that sticks up for your blocker.
We love you.
Well, we know.
I'm the one that always sticks up for your blocker.
He watches.
Watch it tell me. Yeah, look, you need to get Ben around on there, up there. You need to get Ben around. You need to go see him. You need to get big Birdie. Don't call him.
There we go.
There we go. We got Blocker. Blocker's not happy. Not happy with the Mad Dragons vodcast. See what you've done, Hasman. See what you've done, Hasman. You've pissed Blocker off. We could have had him on. We could have had a chat. Nah. You burnt that bridge, Hasman. Now he won't talk to us.
He doesn't watch it. He has people watching it for him, he said.
Yeah, well, plenty of people will let him know what shit's going on.
Anyway, no, it's a lovely day. I've told people saying it's quite windy. It's just a calm day, great conditions for footy. $5 entry too if you're around the area too. There's a game on local after this. The Steelers playing the Bulldogs in the New South Wales Women's Premiership. So great day, free games for $5. You can't beat that.
Absolutely, best value for money around, mate. What's the conditions like? What's it? You know, a lot of people asking about. A bit warm. Players might get a bit tired towards the back end.
Ty's number one.
He's always happy.
Yeah. Want to say hello? Ha!
There you go, mate. Fire up.
Blocker recommended him to come on, but he ran away.
He said hi and then nicked off.
I've got the Couchmen here too. I can't get them on.
No.
I mean, I can try.
There's a mob around the Couchmen.
Sorry, what was that?
There's a mob around the Couchmen. You're saying the Couchmen are more popular than Blocker?
Yeah. I think the guys are just about to head out. The herd has just gone in off in the background, so the second half shouldn't be too far away.
Yes, on the screen here it still says it's a couple of minutes, but you're probably a couple of minutes ahead of me. So,
Birdie, you ready to go tomorrow?
Nah, bro.
Nah.
On me.
No,
Got to beat your old club.
Birdie's not ready to go.
He's not ready to go. He's not ready to go.
No. I think he was saying, "No, I'm not coming on. Not talking to you, blokes." That's the thing, mate. You're gonna talk shit about the players. They're gonna not want to talk to you.
Oh well.
Oh well.
The conditions they're very nice here. The ground's in pitch perfect shape. Second game on already. But
who's impressed you in that first half, Jess?
Dylan Egan, what that run he made up the middle, he did an awesome. That's a great one for a back rower. Buchanan looks solid. Ravalawa still looks a bit off the pace. Still coming in, but what we've been impressive. Tamale's been very good on the wing. I'm surprised we we didn't keep him. I mean, he's a star of the future, and with Lomax going off, what he would have been the perfect replacement for him. But anyway, is what it is, I guess. But
is what it is, mate. I mean, you got to trust in Shane Flanagan in the process. He, for whatever reason, didn't rate Tamale enough to offer him another contract, and was quite happy to let him go. You can't keep them all at the end of the day, but it's certainly disappointing to lose a player of that talent. Certainly with the ball, he's incredible. Every time he touches it, you just think something's going to happen.
The Jets are just returned to the field here at the ground.
Big T wants to know what the score is. He's only just switched it on. It's 18 points to 12. The Dragons leading the Jets at halftime. Big T.
The Jets are back on the ground here, Donny.
Righto. Well, it won't be too far away from the actual live stream starting. Probably kick off there for you before I get to see it. Okay, they've just gone back to live pictures, so the Jets just making their way out into the middle.
Dan Russell leads the Dragons back out.
Well, give us a look at the view you've got, mate. What are you looking at? How close are you?
That's how close I am.
There we go. I'll stand on my head. Beautiful.
Even get Loco on vision for you. Loco Tonga there on vision.
Yeah. I'll let you go and get back to it, mate. Enjoy the second
I'll catch
half.
You at full time.
Yeah, I'll probably have to head off straight after full time. I've got to get down for a local preliminary final. LWA prelims today, so I'll have to head down to that. But anyway, mate, enjoy the second half. Catch up with you later. Here we are. Maybe you just keep Jesse on for the sounds of the game. There's no sounds of the game coming through on the broadcast, but him right down on the sideline, you'll be able to hear and feel the hits. So the Newtown Jets will get us back underway. We're underway in the second half. The Dragons leading 18 points to 12 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. And it's Alec Tuatavake charging back into them for the first play of the second half. Raymond Fatala Mariner, a late addition to this New South Wales Cup side. And we've got a penalty in the first set. The Jets all offside. They've jumped the gun. The Dragons will kick into touch. They scored just before halftime. Now they'll be in a perfect position to perhaps score just after halftime. Aiden Buchanan gets the ball in hand, takes a tap. Dummies to Fatala Mariner, who never looked like he wanted it. And Buchanan takes the first play of this set. Fatala Mariner standing in that tackle. Again, from dummy half, it goes to Ward. He's worked his way into the contest here on debut. Tuatavake gets the underneath pass, 10 metres out. Plays it back to Malison. Goes to Ward. Ward dummies, goes. Tries to pull through the tackle there of Rajab. Rajab holds him up. And he'll play the ball just a couple of metres short of the line. Goes to Glover. To Egan. Egan will be centre field. Good place to attack from on tackle 5. Goes to Glover. Glover rolls it in behind, off legs and knocked on there by Benny Johnson coming through. And Grant Bell, my dad. There you go, Dad. Good to have you there. Watching online. But says Joe, the cameraman's job is safe. Not too fond of the camera work there of Jesse, putting us all sideways. So we had to stand on our head to see what he could see. He does look like he's got a good view right up close to the sideline. Good spot to watch the game from. The Dragons leading 18-12 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. And the Jets their first use of this second half. After giving away a penalty themselves, the Dragons want to be careful not to do the same. As Newtown come towards the centre of the field, up towards the 30-metre line, Malhison and Russell involved in the tackle, along with Glover. Keep going down that side of the field again, trying to get through that tackle. So Josh Corrick back out onto the field. He had a really good first stint, Josh Corrick. Makes the tackle there on Fernley. Now the blind side bomb from the Jets. Goes down to Finau. Takes it, does a little bit of a dance, gets it out to Tamale. Tamale tries to bust through the tackle there of Hosking, one of the Jets' try scorers in the first half. Can't get through the tackle as Buchanan. He runs into Hosking again. Fighting to get to his feet there, Buchanan. Now for Fatala Mariner. Picks out a target. Up towards the halfway line. 45 out from her own line. Now Josh Corrick gets us beyond that halfway mark. Into Jets territory. Tom Hyson trips over. Still pushes away from the marker. Now gets a pass around the corner to Ward. Ward dummies. Goes. Rajab makes the tackle along with the sliding cover. It goes for the kick now of Glover. A high one, comes down just a metre short of the try line, so a perfectly placed bomb there from Jonah Glover. Again, forcing the Newtown Jets to work it off their own line. It's Rodwell. He runs into Tuatavake and also Egan. Now carry into Josh Corrich to make that tackle. Tipping it on through the middle, go the Jets up towards the 40-metre line. Josh Cook gets into dummy half. He just delayed that pass a little bit to Puru, so it meant he was under a bit more pressure than he probably should have been. Ravaloa beats the first tackler, beats the second tackler, then looks to try to go between defenders. An attempted one-on-one strip from Brad Fernley. I don't know whether Mika Ravaloa is the best target to try and strip it from. It was Ward. He tipped it on now to Tamale. And on tackle 2, right up on the halfway line. Now Buchanan stands in the tackle. Falls like a tree down on the 40-metre line. Glover stepped back inside as Puru charged out to try and shut that down on the outside. He smelt danger. They go back towards the open, though, with Corrich. Corrich, again, one-on-one. They can't stop him, so he's able to pick up another 10 metres after contact. Goes to Ward. Ward goes right to the line, goes out to Buchanan, who was chopped down by Ferris on the last play. I don't know whether that was the right option there from Ashton Ward. Wasn't too much brewing. Ferris easily read that. Makes the tackle and we hand it over. Go and go, almost coming out the other side. And a quick play of the ball. Rodwell on the back of that. I think that might have been Tarmale with that run previously. And they step out of dummy half and put down there is Fernley. They're into the Dragons' half. This has been a bit of an arm wrestle to start this second 40. We're about 7 minutes into it. Another bomb goes down. The Dragons come forward to it. Tamale over-jumped it, missed it completely. Luckily, Hayden Buchanan's back there to clean it up. Now they go a couple wide. Ravaloa tips it out to Glover. Well, I don't know whether he had a great grasp on that one, Mika Ravaloa. That's a bit of low percentage footy there from the Dragons. Now they get back to the grind, now just trying to work it out of their own end, still inside their own 10. As Tamale tries to give them a little bit of breathing room, carries it up over the 20. Plays it back to Mollison. He goes to Fatala Mariner. Steps off the left. Chopped down low by Dillon. And the kick from just inside the 40 from Glover to end that set. Carrying back strongly there, Tom Rodwell. Dodgy play the ball from Rodwell. Allowed to play on, though. Ferris gets absolutely cleaned up there. Josh Corrich. Hit him high. Hit him hard. It's a very solid shot. I imagine in the NRL they might look a little bit closer at that one from 75 different camera angles in slow motion to see if he might be worth 10 in the bin. But here the referee saw it. Says penalty sufficient. We get back on with it. Corrich again involved in that tackle. Tuatavake in there as well. Good shot, but a great chance now for the Jets. Perhaps level this one back up as Tarmale's put down. Now Puru turns that one underneath the Fernley. Stands in the tackle there of Egan. Before eventually he's put down. Cook goes to Rajab. Rajab goes to the line. Dummies goes. Complaints there from Fatala Mariner. No real advantage taken by Rajab is the ruling. Puru, he goes to the line. Gets it out the back and struggling towards the line now is Crouch. Crouch is just a metre or so short. Now the pass to Puru. Puru's short ball spins out of the tackle. Well, there's some feeble defence there on Jordan Liu. And he strolls across for the simplest of tries. And the Jets They could be level once more in just a moment. It's Jonah Glover with a pretty poor miss. Haley Finau coming across. He was never going to stop the try. Also missed him. But Jonah Glover, well, he's got to do a little better than that. But you also don't want to be leaving your halfback isolated with the big back rower in those sorts of situations. So a try to Jordan Liu. An important one for the Jets. Jesse saying, looks like Fafita has picked up an injury. Well, he did an interesting little hop at the start of the game. He was running a decoy run and looked like he was hopping towards the line rather than running at it. So I did wonder if he picked up some sort of nuisance injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for the big fella. I would say that's why Josh Corrich is back out in the middle, maybe a bit earlier than the original plan. Niwaipuru should knock this one over. And Locker's back up on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. Pretty adjacent to the post. Moves in, as expected, raises the flags. Goal kicking's been perfect from both teams so far today. 51 minutes gone. 18 all on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. We've got a tense final half an hour coming up in this game. Around the grounds, courtesy of Complete Warehouse Solutions before the kickoff in the NRLW. It's 22-12. The Cowboys over the Raiders. Parramatta leading Newcastle 6-0 in the New South Wales Women's Premiership. As we're back underway. Kick down, and the Newtown Jets come up with an error straight from the kickoff. I think that's Khaled Rajab. There's had himself a mare. It looked like at the end he'd laid an egg. As he remonstrates with himself, inviting the Dragons to regain the lead straight away. They won't get too many better opportunities than this right here. Jonah Glover's lining out to the right. Haley Finau is a sweeper. Mika Ravaloa positioning himself interestingly there as well. He can go inside or outside. They go the other way. Conor Mulhuston bounces away from one, doesn't give the pass out to Buchanan. Now Ward goes to Stewart. Stewart's a metre or two short of the line. We'll play it back to Mulhuston. Corrich, he runs the crack play. Josh Corrich gets to the try line. Can't get it down. Referee says held up. Josh Corrich says, no way I got that to the ground, sir. And he'll have to go back and play it. Because the referee's made his decision. No video referee here. He plays it back to Mulhuston. Goes out the back there to Glover. Glover to Egan. Egan still pushing towards the try line. Corrich went oh so close. Now they go out to Ward. Ward to Glover. Glover didn't like what he had outside. Just had to run himself. Kind of got run out of room there by Dan Russell on tackle 5. It's going to have to be Ward that comes up with the kick. He kicks towards the corner. Who's going to get up and compete for it? Absolutely nobody. They were all way too deep there, the Dragons. No one was flat, ready for the kick on the last play. And a very easy take there for the Newtown Jets. A pretty poor end to that set from the Dragons. So it remains 18 all on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. And the Jets trying to get it out of their own end. Rodwell struggling in that tackle there of Stewart and Mulhuston. Russell with that tackle down low. It's Puru. You can go towards the middle of the park. Might have been Kurt Dillon. It's Puru. puts it down the other end, Ravaloa sits nervously underneath it, comes forward and takes it well. Runs the ball back into Cook. Now Tamale does his little goose step as he gets to the line, pulls out of the tackle here of Blake Hosking. He's a real handful with every carry, is Savelio Tamale. He plays it back to Ward. Ward goes to Buchanan. Buchanan tries to use footwork to get past Fernley. Fernley holds on and makes the tackle. Now Fatala Mariner, though, on the back of that, gets a pass out to Mulhyson, goes across to Corrich. Corrich looked outside, decides to do what he does best and just takes it forward. Again, fighting in the tackle. Can't get a quick play the ball. Stewart goes to Glover. Glover out the back to Ward. Ward goes wider. Finau steps back infield. That's actually Buchanan, rather. Now Glover. He puts a bomb up. This time Russell's in position to contest and doesn't, though, but will drag the Jets back into the in-goal. Jordan Liu takes the catch. But as soon as he grabs it, Dan Russell was on his back and dragging him back into the in-goal area. Goal line dropout coming. Was that Blake Laurie on before? Momentarily. He had Blocker on for a bit of a chat. He got his face on the terrible camera work of Jesse. But we saw him there for a bit. Didn't want to talk to us. He said the Mad Dragon talks too much shit about him. I didn't want to have a chat. As the Jets go that short drop out. It looks like it might be a bit too deep. Down to Ashton Ward. Ward steps past one. Ward puts the foot down. And coming across, making a great tackle there is Hosking. Had to be made. And a slow play the ball from Ward. The pass now to Stewart. Stewart, he straightens the attack. Stands in the three-player tackle. He's told to play it. Mulhyson goes out to Ward. Ward, the ball hits the deck. It's picked up by Russell. Russell, a good pick-up. Does well not to knock it on. Haley Finau jumps into dummy half. Goes to Glover. Glover just tips it on to Corrich. Corrich will play it back to Mulhyson. Finau, Haley Finau, show and go. Almost gets through. He's put down on tackle 5. Connor Mulhyson at dummy half. He's waiting for his instruction. It goes deep back to Glover. Glover again bombing towards Fatala Mariner. He taps it back. Ward on his New South Wales Cup debut. Picks it up on his bootlaces and dives over to put the Dragons back in front. 22-18, kick to come. Great stuff there from Ashton Ward. Great stuff from Fatala Mariner. And that's what happens when you actually compete for bombs. You give yourself a chance to come up with tries like that. Got tipped over backwards and awkwardly, so hopefully Fatala Mariner's come out of that okay. So that'll test out your back spasms. Try to Ashton Ward. The Dragons back in front in this must-win clash. A few comments coming through. Tony Sacosta urging the boys to do better. Don Williams, try. Tony a lot happier once they did get across. He says yes. Rob Bell says yes. Lisa Marie Cooper said yeah. And Jesse Godfrey says, try. Great having a player with RFM's experience here. And he is fine. He certainly got twisted awkwardly as he tapped that one back, put his body on the line. Heath Battershall's loving the commentary. I'm enjoying doing it, mate. Got a couple more games to call later today in the local NRL WA competition. Got preliminary finals for both women and men. Later on today on the NRL Pathways YouTube channel. The conversion attempt. Try and give the Dragons a 6-point advantage. Should convert it. Does convert it. 24-18, the Dragons lead on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. 20 minutes to go. The Dragons doing well. Well, Jesse Godfrey saying Connor's come off. You'd have to think that's for an injury, so that's going to cause some sort of reshuffle that you'd think would put Hayley Finau into dummy half, but then somebody else has to go to fullback. So we'll try and work out exactly what the Dragons are doing there. Declan Purcell might have come onto the field as well on the bench today. Declan, he only got 6 minutes last week and got himself a try. And it looks like that is him out there in the middle. So he's come on to give Connor Mulhyson a bit of a breather. And there he is, Declan Purcell, backing up the offload of Ray Fatala Mariner. And he was awake to it straight away there, Declan. He'll look to have an impact. There's Dylan Egan. He certainly has had an impact off the bench. Now Corrich goes out to Glover. Glover going across field a little bit too much and flirted with that touch line before he's put down. And they'll go a couple wide with Russell. Stands in the tackle. He's been incredibly busy. Dan Russell. He goes back to Glover for the bomb. Well, again, happy to just allow Camo to take that one and invite the Jets to just bring it away from their own line. A late offload back to Rajab. In the Dragons, though, are awake to it. Eden Buchanan sliding off the tackle to make sure that there was no danger from that second phase play. Tyler Mariner's had his impact here in this second half. Getting into a couple of tackles here in this set. Dummy's on the outside, had the arm free there, did Crouch, but couldn't get the pass away to the support players as Rajab bombs away from the halfway line. Down the throat of Hayley Finau. He steps out, looks to find a little bit of room before he trips over. Perhaps that's fortunate there for Jordan Swan. And the Newtown Jets as Mika Ravaloa gets through a couple of tackles, gets the arm free, thought about popping an offload, but gets up towards the halfway line. Good run from Ravaloa. He'll play the ball back to Glover. Glover. He goes to Benny Johnson, who looks to step through the middle. Runs into a big shot there. But the Dragons are just piling their way through the middle of the field with Purcell. Now with Corrich. Corrich, he winds up. And a good set of 6 here on 5. They'll look for a good finish. Purcell looks to the short side. That's the way he goes. Glover kicks that one through. He'll chase his own kick. Gets up, claims it, and Jonah Glover scores for the Dragons. We're out to a 28-18 lead. What a try there for the Dragons. Jonah Glover, well, I don't know whether it was much of a kick, but he just chased through his own. I think it was meant for Dan Russell. He couldn't get to it. And it was the two number 7s competing for the high ball up against each other, Niwai Puru and Jonah Glover, and Glover wins the day. Comes down with the ball and the try and gives the Dragons a pretty decent advantage. We pilot our way towards finals. Still plenty of time left in this game, of course. 16 and a half left on the clock. And Williams says, nice kick and try. Jonah Glover is on fire. He's certainly heavily involved. He's taken on a lot of the responsibility with a young half in Ashton Ward alongside him on his New South Wales Cup debut. Tony Sacosta says, keep it up, boys. And Lisa Marie Cooper says, great work. Important kick now for Glover. Oh, he shanks. Absolute shank from Glover. The first unsuccessful conversion of the day. So it remains 28-18 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard as we quickly go around the grounds, courtesy the Complete Warehouse Solutions. The Newcastle Knights, 36-16 winners over the Eels earlier today in the NRLW. The other NRLW game, the Cowboys, 26-18 over the Raiders. That one's just about finished as well. New South Wales Women's Premiership, Parramatta and Newcastle 6-all. The Rabbitohs in Jersey Flegg leading the Knights 6-0. And Newtown Workers Seagulls leading at the Western Suburbs Magpies in New South Wales Cup 10-6. We're back live here at Collegian Sporting Complex. The Dragons leading 28-18 as Dylan Egan takes the first hit up after points. Now Ray Fatala Mariner gets up towards the 30-metre line. Now to Marley. He looks to step his way through. Chopped down low, though, by the Jets. Quick play the ball. Purcell likes it. Goes on behind the ruck with Hamish Stewart. Hamish Stewart, though, is put down onto his back as the Jets regain control of the ruck. Dylan Egan with his second run of the set. Wants to roll over and find his front for a quick play the ball, but again, the Jets control it. It goes back to Glover for the kick. Bombs to the corner, chasing through Ben Johnson. No path through for him, though. It's taken comfortably and uncontested there by Tom Rodwell. Now the Jets working it out of their own end of Rodwell. Takes another carry, slips as he gets to the defensive line, so makes it an easy tackle for Glover and Corrich. Great call, Donnie Bell. Thanks to you, Mo. Keeping them down there. So now they look to shift out wide. Tried to flick it out the back. Well, there's an important tackle made by Hayden Buchanan. It is out on that side, I think. Yeah, they're charging forward to take that one. Haley Finn out. He's done a good job at fullback. Now the Dragons working it out of their own end. Now Buchanan just come up with a good defensive play. Now he's looking to do it on the other side of the ball, but the Jets contain him as Ravaloa. He's chopped down low, and Dragons player's not happy with the tackle, and eventually the penalty does come. Must have got a call from the touch judge. But the tackle did slip up a little high as he was coming down to the ground, so see Rava. He was falling as he got hit. You see the Jets player there, I think it was Hal Tapua, basically gave himself up that he did hit him high. There's not too much a player can do as a defender in that situation, of course, but any contact with the head is a penalty. Oh, no, it's at the back of Fatala Mariner to Ward. Now to Egan. So Egan has the first carry of this set as Glover underneath to Corrich, runs into Glover's back, and Josh Corrich, he's pulling towards the line still. He's desperate for a four-pointer. He loves a meat pie, Josh Corrich, but he can't quite get there. Purcell fires that across. They go wide to Ward. Ward holds it up to Fatala Mariner, and that's put down and will go over the dead ball line and out to the 20. Well, Fatala Mariner, he's trying to claim that he didn't actually touch it and was knocked backwards by the Jets, but I don't know that he's going to get a lot of love on that one. Now the Jets with the 7 tackles set. They're not willing to call this game over yet, and neither am I. They're in third place on the ladder for a reason. The Jets are a quality outfit. So get themselves into a decent attacking position. It goes to Rajab. Rajab dummies on the inside, goes outside to Puru. There's plenty of Jets players in the way. Kind of got in their own way there, Newtown. So now they work through the middle. Tapua. Put down as it comes to Puru. He's going to bomb this one down the middle. Tamale, well, he looked like he was taken out of it there, Savelio Tamale, and the Dragons do get the penalty for that. Well, he was completely bumped off the ball here, Savelio Tamale. He was in the position to take it. It just gets cleaned up. I think that might be Jackson Ferris. It is. Just knocked him out of the way illegally, and the Dragons get the penalty. Also, the referee's done a fair job here today, I think. Certainly hasn't got everything right by my estimation, but close enough. He certainly hasn't come up with any howlers. Now I've said that with 10 minutes to go, fatigue will start to set in for the ref, and he'll have a couple of shocking calls, I'm sure. Hayden Buchanan. Haven't really seen any space today. Done plenty of that, taking the tap and the first hit up from a tap, but haven't been getting a lot of early ball on that left-hand side from Ashton Ward. Stewart. Up quickly and plays the ball. Purcell likes it. Goes right to the line before tipping it on to Egan. Egan still struggling. Declan Purcell wants to form a rugby maul. And Josh Corrich. Been one of the Dragons' best for mine. He's been fantastic. Now kicking towards the corner again, and plenty of blockers in the way there from Newtown. The Dragons try and hold Rodwell up and drive him back into the in goal. They come up with the error, picked up. A chance now. I think that's Connor Mollison back out on the field. Yes, he said he had an interchange card in the comments. He didn't get much of a breather. He'll play it back to Purcell. Looks like he's in as a running forward. The Dragons get a penalty. Well, the death knell is sounding. If the Dragons can get 6 points here, it's very difficult to see the Jets getting back into it. A massive defensive set for Newtown and an attacking set for the Dragons. Short pass, running a great line there. Corrich is hit high. And another penalty to the Dragons. Again, they get to reset, reload. Ward's going to take the tap. He goes to Mulhyson. Stands in the tackle. Plays it back to Purcell. Purcell to Corrich. Josh Corrich towards the line. Spinning. Can he get it down this time? The second time he's been over the line. And the second time the Jets have managed to hold him up. He's been a powerhouse today. He even has a little bit of a chuckle there with Ray Fatala Mariner about how close he's gone. Goes to Glover. Glover just lobs that one up into the arms of Dylan Egan, who's out on the right edge now by the looks of things. He's played all this game through the middle of the field. Mulhyson goes short side, rubber lower. A little bit of a set play. The Jets read it and handle it well. Good tackle from Jordan Liu. We'll play it back to Purcell. Purcell fires one out to Glover. Out to Ward. Ward, they go wider, floating one out with Tamale. Tamale gets away from the first attempted tackle, but not a lot of room for him to work in. Not the crispest of service. Ward, he's going to put the bomb. Now Russell, he's getting into position. Dan Russell gets up. He deserves a try. He gets one. The Dragons captain dots down. Competing again for that bomb from Ashton Ward, who's got himself a try and now a try assist to go with it. The Dragons out to a 32-18 win, or lead, not win yet. Don't want to go the early crow, but very, very close to locking this one up as Dragons fans suddenly become Canberra Raiders fans. They'll be cheering them on, hoping they can get the victory over the Penrith Panthers later today. that will see the Dragons back into the top 5 with a game next week against the Parramatta Eels. Well, a great try, Dan Russell. Very well deserved. The Dragons, I'll take as much time off the clock as they can here. Jib, what's your thoughts on Ashton Ward's performance? I think he took a long while to work his way into the game. Jonah Glover pretty much had all the ball in that opening 20 minutes or so before Ashton Ward even touched it. And once he has warmed into the game, though. He's done fairly well. He's had a couple of passes that haven't quite hit their mark, but he hasn't done a lot wrong. He's been solid enough defensively. I think he's done a fair job, mate, in his New South Wales Cup debut. It's good to see him get an opportunity because he's been pretty good for the Jersey Fleet side most of the year. Knocked over by Glover. And on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard, it is 34 points to 18. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Jesse Godfrey, Dan Russell in his final home game for the Dragons. Good word coming through that he won't be getting another contract for next season. Certainly not in the top 30. And that kickoff is going to go out on the full from the Jets. So that will be a handover. And some of the other comments, Tony Sacosta, oh yeah. Josh Bellingham says, you beauty. The Donna's gone the early crow, says Gary. Unintentional early crow. But with 5 minutes to go, leading 32-18, only Parramatta could stuff it up from here, surely. Dan is the man. Great kick from Glover. He hasn't signed with anybody else, Ian. He's just the Dragons have said they will not be giving him a contract for next season. But he hasn't signed anywhere else as yet, so he could end up with a New South Wales Cup contract and still be in the Dragons New South Wales Cup team, but he won't be in the NRL squad. As here he is, plying his trade, trying to put his name forward for a contract somewhere. He's had a fine game here today, Dan Russell. Connor Heisman gets us into a decent position for another attacking kick. Goes to Glover. He bombs that one towards Johnson. It's tapped backwards. Well, they were competing with each other there. Mika Ravaloa and Ben Johnson. And they just tap it back into the arms of Puru. The Jets, well, they will still be in that finals race. A team that we might run into in finals if we are able to get there. And they work a short side into the final 3 minutes. Newtown is going through the ups as Conor Mulhyson makes a one-on-one tackle. They look to go the shift and the kick from inside the 40 from Puru. Not a kind bounce, though, if he's looking for the 40-20. Going across field now. Haley Finau looks to link with Hayden Buchanan. They come up with an error. It's picked up towards the line. He'll reach over and slam that down. Hal Tapua scores for Newtown. Well, a bit of amateur footy there for the Dragons to finish this one off. It's not the best of ways to finish the game. And we'll end up with the win. Haley Finau got on his bike, worried about the 40-20. And when he gets the ball, goes across field and tries to link with Hayden Buchanan, who, well, if he catches it, he might have been able to step past and been away. But Buchanan puts it down. Declan Purcell trying to claim a double movement, but the ball carrying arm never hit the ground there for Hal Tapua. And that one hits the post and goes through. So conversion attempt successful. So 34-24. Just under 2 minutes still left. A 10-point margin. As Jesse Godfrey says, he reckons you'll go back to Queensland. That's certainly a strong possibility. I know he's been here for a while. He might have set down roots. I don't know much about his personal life, Jess. If he set down roots, he might be happy to settle and stay in the area. But yes, I'd say also a strong chance that he ends up back in the Queensland Cup somewhere. Josh Bellingham said he reminds him of Ben Cray. It doesn't look like he's going to quite have the same sort of career as Ben Cray did. Only Sacosta watching from the Philippines as the Dragons, well, they seem determined to give the Jets a chance to get back into this game. They want to give the fans a grandstand finish. They kicked that one out on the full. And now the Jets will go on the attack. They've still got a couple of minutes left on the clock. If they can score quickly, they might really put the wind up the Dragons here. They haven't done themselves any favours in these last couple of minutes as it goes across field, running back against the grain. The Jets put down. Cook gets to dummy half. Goes across the face to Puru. Puru looks to step through himself. Sticks again, says the referee. Purcell makes the tackle. Play the ball. Cook, short ball. They drive towards the line. The Dragons get underneath it and keep him short of the line. Ray Fatala Mariners there. Tapal's held up there by Buchanan. Driven towards the sideline, but stays in the field of play. They come towards the middle. Little grubber in behind. Finau's got it covered. He'll look to get back in the field of play and will. Haley Finau now looking to step to the middle himself. He's put down. And the Dragons, well, they've held on grimly with that defensive set after putting themselves under pressure at the back end of this game. It's going to be a good win, but I don't think the coach or the players will want to look at the last 2 minutes. There's Dylan Egan. We'll have one of the final carries of the game. We've got about 5 seconds left. And fittingly, Dan Russell finished the game with the ball in his hands, and the Dragons are victorious, winning this one 34 points to 24 on the Complete Warehouse Solutions scoreboard. A very good win. Of course, the win itself doesn't guarantee the Dragons a spot in finals. We need the Panthers they entered the round above us. We'll leapfrog the Panthers for now into 5th spot. They take on the top of the table, Canberra Raiders, a little bit later on today. We need the Raiders to win that one, hoping the top of the table team can topple the Panthers. That'll get us into 5th spot. We should remain, because the win does take us above the Canterbury Bulldogs, who lost to the New Zealand Warriors earlier on in the weekend. So we will finish above the Dogs, but it's that Panthers-Raiders game that is all the focus right now for Dragons fans and the New South Wales Cup team. Then we just need to beat Parramatta next week, of course, and we'll be in finals. So a couple of big games coming up. Thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast as we have a look through those second half tries. A few from kicks for the Dragons as they win 34 points to 24 and give themselves every chance of playing finals. Thanks for joining us. Probably back at some stage calling a few games tomorrow. See you then.